If you want to be a part of the conversation before it happens here on YouTube, click that link in the description to join the free Courtside Financial Discord. What's going on, everyone? My name's Obi, and welcome back to the Courtside Financial Podcast, the podcast where we talk about business and technology. I tend to focus on the EV industry on this channel for now, but in today's episode, we're going to be talking about what might be one of the most fascinating parallels that I've seen in years. I'm talking about the EV industry and its eerie similarities to the dot-com bubble of the late 90s. So this is going to be a super interesting, super insightful video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers before the year is over. We put in a lot of time to do this research and put out this analysis to serve a greater audience. So we truly appreciate you for that. Click the notification bell icon. Leave a comment down below. All your engagement really does go a long way in helping us get this information to a broader audience to ultimately be able to help and serve more people. So without further ado, let's get into today's super interesting episode. Let me paint a picture for you. Back in 1999, every single company was rushing to add .com to their name. Today, what's everyone doing? They're adding AI or artificial intelligence is a buzzword into their business. Everyone's an AI company, and that includes our friends in the EV space. Just recently, we've seen major EV players, especially in China, trying to rebrand themselves. XPeng's chairman is now calling XPeng a global AI company. Li Auto has recently said that they want to be one of the biggest and best world-leading AI companies. Even NIO CEO William Li, he's echoing the same sentiment. And you know what's fascinating? This isn't just marketing speak. These companies are actually fundamentally reshaping their identity. It's like watching Amazon evolve from an online bookstore to a tech giant, except this is happening at hyper speed. So the question here is, who's actually building real AI capabilities and who is just hopping on the bandwagon to fit the namesake? Let's talk about numbers for a second. China's EV market has hit a significant milestone in 2024, almost 11 million units in sales. That's up 40.7% year over year, so it's definitely some staggering growth. But you know what else showed staggering growth? Internet companies in 1999, and we all know how that ended. But here's where it gets really interesting and why 2025 might be the year of reckoning. XPeng's chairman made a pretty bold statement. He said the next 3 years will be an elimination stage amongst Chinese electric vehicles, and we're already kind of seeing that sentiment, especially if you watched my last video. If you haven't, check it out. We talked about the problems with unfinished cars like the Jiayu 07 leaving some owners kind of hanging as they recently purchased these cars, and then the companies just kind of disappeared. Anyways, let's break down what's happening on the ground. At the start of 2024, BYD launched their Quinn Plus Honor Edition and Destroyer 05 Honor Edition, pricing them at 70,000 yuan. That's aggressive pricing that sent shockwaves throughout the market. It's like when Amazon started selling books below cost, a strategy that helped them gain dominance in the e-commerce space, but also crushed competitors. Speaking of competition, let's talk about entering the field. Xiaomi is not just dipping their toes in, they're diving headfirst into the EV field. The SU7 has already hit 130,000 deliveries. Then you've got Huawei, who insist that they're not making cars, but they're actually becoming the Android of the automotive world with their Hongming intelligent driving system. Now let's talk about something that's interesting in the global market. China has actually become the world's largest exporter of cars, surpassing Germany and Japan. From January to October 2024 alone, they exported 4.855 million vehicles, up 23.8% year over year. They're on track to hit 6 million in the first full year. And get this, their EVs are now in more than 180 countries in every continent except Antarctica. This is where it gets really fascinating. We're seeing a complete reversal of the entire automobile industry dynamic. Remember when Chinese cars were trying to learn from foreign companies? Now we're seeing BBA executives, BMW, Benz, Audi executives making pilgrimages to Chinese manufacturers. It's really like watching the script flip in real time. Now let's dive into this morning's bombshell news about from CNEV post. Of course, I'll give credit to this source because this is not coming from me, so I don't want anybody to get mad at me just reporting the news. But CNEV post had reported potential, well, I'll just call it a rumor or an analyst prediction about Xiaomi acquiring NIO potentially. While NIO's team dismissed it as speculation, it's part of Haitong International's 5 big conjectures for 2025. And honestly, it might make a little bit more sense than we all think. Think about NIO's battery swapping network. They're already in 700 cities. Each new station is driving sales growth. Even CATL, the world's largest battery manufacturer, is backing this model. If Xiaomi were to acquire NIO, they'd get instant access to this infrastructure. It's like when eBay bought PayPal. Sometimes infrastructure is worth more than the primary business. And this brings me to what I think is the most brilliant strategic move that we're seeing in the EV industry today. NIO's sub-brand strategy. In a market that's clearly heading towards a shakeout, having different brands at different price points isn't just some type of strategy, it's survival. When the dot-com bubble burst, who survived? Companies that had real business models and multiple revenue streams. Let's talk about the AI angle for a minute. In 2024, we saw Baidu's robo-taxis hit the streets of Wuhan. Tesla made a big buzz about robo-taxis as well. And companies like Horizon Robotics, Black Sesame, WeRide, and Pony AI all pushed towards IPO. But here's the thing. Autonomous driving is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to AI. These companies are betting that by the end of 2025, each car company will need its own Jarvis like Iron Man. And whoever cracks the code first is going to be the Google of the automotive age. The price where we're seeing right now is just the beginning. Tesla offering 10,000 RMB discounts on the Model Y, and Li Auto rolling out 0% financing, trying to gain market share. But just like the dot-com era, cash burn rates matter as well. The companies that survive won't be just the ones with the best technology. It'll be the ones that can also figure out a way to make the economics work. Remember how many e-commerce companies existed in 1999? Now think about the ones that survived. Amazon, eBay, Shopify, and a couple of ones that emerged from the ashes. The same thing is going to happen here, but the key difference is infrastructure, the charging networks, the battery swapping stations, the autonomous driving systems. These aren't just paper assets. The next few years are going to be interesting to watch. We're likely going to see a consolidation. Everyone should understand that by now. Probably some high-profile failures and some really interesting and unexpected mergers. But unlike the dot-com bubble, the end game isn't a question. EVs are the future. The only question is going to be who's left standing to build that future. Before we wrap up, let me leave you with this interesting thought. In the dot-com era, the companies that survived weren't necessarily the ones with the most innovative technology or biggest market share. They're the ones who understood that technology was just a means to an end. The real goal was solving customer problems and building sustainable business models. The EV makers that survive this shakeout will be the ones who remember that lesson. They won't be the ones with the best AI or the most advanced battery technology. They'll be the ones who figure out how to turn all of that into real value for customers and honestly their bottom line as well. Anyways, that's all for today's episode of the Courtside Financial Podcast. We'll keep doing research. We'll keep putting out videos. We'll keep coming up with insightful topics that really make you think about things in a different way that I feel like a lot of people on YouTube really aren't doing. But anyways, make sure if you found it useful, helpful, insightful, at the very least entertaining, please hit that subscribe button, click the like button, hit the notification bell icon, and leave a comment down below. Engagement helps the video out in ways that you could not imagine. But anyways, happy Saturday. This is Obi signing off of the Courtside Financial Podcast, and we will see you in the next episode. Thank you. Have a blessed weekend. Goodbye.